Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here in Foley Square in Lower Manhattan. Now, we're mostly covering the federal court, and I'll get to that in a moment. But yesterday, in the building right behind me here, 60 Center Street, we covered the Trump New York State Attorney General case. We live tweeted basically most of his testimony, almost all of his testimony. Got there a little bit after he began because some cases in the federal court, but you can find it all on @InnerCityPress, and you can make your own decisions. At the end, after the witness was gone, today the case is not meeting. Presently on Wednesday, Ivanka Trump will testify. The end, there was some dispute about motions that the Trump side is going to make, including about the kind of gag order on discussing confidential communications between Judge Engoron and his staff, one of whose staff members not supposed to be named. In any event, we'll see how that holds up on appeal. But it was what it was, and you can find it. Now, in the other big building behind me, this one here, 40 Foley, there's a case coming to a close, DEA bribery case, Costanzo and Recchio, Miami-based DEA agents that are accused of leaking information to major drug dealers. The name of Alexander Saab of Venezuela has come up, and the courtroom was sealed for the discussion of a whole document, and apparently they want to seal it even during closing arguments. This is a trend here. There's another case in the tall building behind me, 500 Pearl, Munir Mrabbit. Not a very well-known case. It's a deadly fentanyl case, but they also want to seal it for one witness. This was granted, and in 40 Foley was the sentencing of Sebastian Greenwood of OneCoin, and all of his sentencing letters were sealed. So we've filed a notice of appeal, and we're seeking further legal support to go forward with that appeal. SBF has been convicted. Safe Moon, sort of in hiatus in Brooklyn, but we'll be all over it. And we're going to cover all these cases and the United Nations, where yesterday there was a meeting about Gaza, but nothing occurred. At the end of it, there was the French bragging about some conference they're going to have in Paris. Conferences are not doing it. Antonio Guterres is a fraud. He gave a single little speech and is now riding on that while banning the press. But we're on the case.